Reparations versus other historical wrongs, why lineage claims fall apart. Welcome once again to Spin Cycle America, where we talk about what is going on in the world today. We hit both sides of the aisle. Sometimes we hit one side a little harder than the other, but we're still hitting both sides. I'm your host, Todd. Here is a quick advertisement for Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and have a Father's Day special on Sunday, just to tell you how it came to be. So please tune in and you learn a little bit about Father's Day. All right, so let's go ahead now and continue talking about this week's episode on reparations. So, hey, everybody, again, this is day 6 of our week long series on reparations. We've examined the history, the cost, constitutionality, the better alternatives, or the better alternatives, I should say. Sorry for the mispronunciation, and the incentives behind the grievance industry. Today, we're going to go ahead and compare reparations demand to the other historical industries in America. This also helps address a common claim that modern black Americans deserve payments because of direct lineage to slavery. Let's look at this fact. The lineage problem. Most Americans have no direct connection. So, a couple days ago, in one of my episodes, somebody made a comment and left a comment that the reason that they wanted reparations was because of a lineage problem, that they had direct lineage to slavery. This is not true. They do not. Most Americans do not have direct connection to this, to slavery. One of the core common arguments for reparation is lineage. The idea that today's black Americans are direct connection to those who were enslaved, so someone must pay. But here's the reality for all Americans. The vast majority of us living today do not have close ancestral ties to slavery or the Civil War. So I'm going to repeat that again because I know I'm going to get some comments on this one too. Okay, because most of you out there probably will not open up a history book or do any research to check on this, okay? Or probably even check your own ancestry. The vast majority of us living today do not have close ancestral ties to the slavery or Civil War era. So think about that, people. Just because the color of your skin doesn't necessarily entitle you to something. As we discovered in day 1, slavery ended in 1865. The biggest wave of European immigration happened afterwards. Millions arrived in the late 1800s and early 1900s from Italy, Poland, Russia, Ireland, Germany, and beyond. Their descendants make up a huge portion of today's white population that had zero involvement in American slavery. This means that the people you want to tax or take money from were not even involved in today's or in reparations or in, I should say, in the slavery. So that means that you're going to open up lawsuits for those people because they will apply for lawsuits against that because they don't want to be taxed for something that they had no involvement in. The same logic applies broadly to millions of Asian, Hispanic, and African immigrants and their children who arrived in the late 60s or in the last 60 years, African born immigrants and their descendants now make up a fast growing share of the black population. over 10 to 14% and rising. They have no lineage connection to the U.S. chattel slavery. So, how do you say they would be entitled to reparations if they were not involved with it or even close to it? Even among the larger or longer established families tracing direct responsibility 160 years later becomes impossible to and absurd. Most Americans are many generations removed. This is why basing policy and distant ancestry creates more problems than solutions. It punishes people who have no personal or even close family lineage to the original wrongs, comparing to other historical industries. So injustices, I'm sorry. So listen to this. This is something you really need to listen to. Otherwise, we're going to blow this thing all out of proportion. If we give it to one group, we have to give it to all these other groups. And this is just the few that I came up with. Okay? So America has many historical wrongs. Oh yeah, we're far from being perfect. Let me tell you. Somebody says the US is perfect, boy, they need to really look at their history books. Okay? If we open up the door to this lineage-based reparations for slavery, consistency demands we consider others. So Native American displacement and conflicts, there's a biggie. Okay? And you know how many Native Americans we have in the United States. And then if we decide we're going to go with if they're mixed, okay, if they're partial Native Americans, oh my goodness, are we in for a rude awakening? Centuries of land lost and broken treaties, yet we don't have broad cash payments to all with native ancestry. Wow, check that out. Now, how about this one? Irish indentured servitude and famine era immigration. Brutal conditions for many early arrivals. So the Irish, they were brutally banished and stuff when they arrived here in the United States. So, I mean, look at that. I am Irish. I have Irish blood in me. So I would fall under this here. I am part Irish. So the part that falls under the brutal conditions, I should get paid. Is that what they're saying? I should get money. I could go ahead and sue for that. Chinese railroad workers and Japanese American internment. What about those people? Clear discrimination with the latter receiving targeted redress to living victims in the 1980s, not their great grandchildren. Anti-Italian, anti-Jewish, and anti-Catholic discrimination. Real prejudice in the 19th and 20th century. Holy cow! Another one for me. I'm Catholic. Man, I could be raking in the dough on this. What a deal. But where does it stop? When are we going to say enough is enough? Put history in the back, learn from it, and move forward. None of these led to trillion-dollar race-based payments to descendants today. The precedent we set with slavery reparations would open endless claims pitting every group against each other based on selective ancestry. That's not justice, it's grievance lottery. But wait, I want some of that money. I need some of that money. Heck, I'm not living the high and mighty. I'm doing okay, but man, I could use some of that cash, some of that dough. Why don't I get some of it? See, that is what everyone else would think too. That's what everybody is saying. All these groups would probably be starting to say that. What about me? What about me? I want to put my hand in that pot. With that, would they would be opening the door for that. They would be opening up courts like crazy. Lawsuits would be just that's all they would be doing. Lawyers would be busy. Why distant lineage claims don't work practically. So even if we tried proving lineage fairly, is a mess. So here's why. DNA tests and records only go back so far. How far can you go back? You can't go that far back. Mixed race family adoptions and incomplete records complicate things even more. So I'm half, I guess you could say I'm a half breed because I'm half Italian, half Irish, I guess that you'd call me a Heinz 57 because I got a whole bunch of stuff in me. But you got, people that are mixed white and black. You got mixed Mexican and white and mixed Mexican and black. You got them all mixed. Where does it stop? Who gets what? Mixed race families and adoptions and incomplete records. That's what there lies your problem too. So what you're saying is that it would be hard to prove I'm half Irish. Is that what you're saying? Is that what they're saying? So it distracts from real drivers of today's outcome. So here's the deal. Education, family structure, safety, and opportunity. That is what we discussed on day 4. Focusing on lineage keeps people looking backwards instead of building forward. It also continues to divide this nation. It divides us up on hate and racism. Can you imagine? Think about it, people. We are already at each other's throat because of the color of our skin, and now we're throwing reparations into this. My goodness, people, let's think about this. The fairness approach is the same for everyone. Equal rule under the law. So pull out your Constitution, open up to the 14th Amendment, and read it. Strong institutions and individual effort. We honor history by learning from it, not by recreating racial storekeeping. This is what is happening now. And I hate to say it, but the Democrats are the ones pushing this. If you look at the Democratic run states, for example, like I said at the beginning, I try to run right down the middle. But sometimes I lean to the left or I might lean to the right. This time I'm leaning more to the left on this. They don't have school choice, or most of their states don't have school choice. They want to abolish ICE, which is safety. They want to eliminate or reduce police forces, which again, there goes your safety in your states. And they want to open borders. Again, there goes your safety. You tell me what's wrong with that picture. So these ideas keep coming, keeping you trapped and closed in less power. But if they can somehow force you to think that they're going or they're on your side, and with the transfer of wealth, then you may jump to their side because they're going to give you more wealth, or they think they're going to give you more wealth. All this is going to do is it's going to put it in the courts for years and decades and decades. Nothing's going to get accomplished. Except you're going to lose money by going to court to fight this. Think about it. So in conclusion, lineage-based arguments sound compelling and emotionally, but when you look at the actual connections most modern Americans have or don't have, they fall apart. So what other historical wrongs do you think deserve attention? There might be some more out there. I'm sure there are. Like I told you earlier, the United States is far from perfect. And how should we handle them? Share your thoughts respectfully below. This again is day 6. Tomorrow is our final day to wrap up this episode on reparations with a positive vision for moving beyond reparations. If this series has given you some facts to think about. Like, subscribe, and share. And again, thank you for watching Spin Cycle America. See you on the final tomorrow. You all have an outstanding day.